Ever wonder why you keep dying every time you dive the backline with Yu Zhong? You had the damage, you had the cooldowns, you even had the confidence, which honestly was the only thing working against you. Here's the truth nobody in your lobby is going to tell you. It's not your skills that are the problem, it's your decision making. And that's actually good news, because decisions can be fixed, unlike your teammates. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly when to dive, when to retreat, and how to stop throwing games you should have won, on one of the most fun heroes in the EXP lane. Let's get into it. So if you really want to learn a hero, the first thing you need to understand is their passive and their skills. But honestly, you can find that information pretty much anywhere. You can read the skill descriptions, watch a basic guide, or even check the game yourself. So that's not going to be the main focus of this video. My goal here is different. I want to help you improve your decision making. When you should fight, when you should back off, when you should rotate, and most importantly, why you should make those decisions. So I'm not going to spend too much time explaining every single skill. I'll take around 2 to 3 minutes to cover Yu Zhong's passive and abilities, just enough so you understand how his kit works. And after that, we're getting straight into the gameplay, where I'll show you how to actually use those abilities to make better decisions. First, let's talk about Yu Zhong's passive. Whenever Yu Zhong deals damage to an enemy hero, he applies a stack of Sha residue. Once you reach 5 stacks, the passive activates. The enemy starts taking damage based on their missing HP, while Yu Zhong restores a percentage of his own missing HP. And this is where Yu Zhong's passive becomes really important for your decision making. If you're already close to 5 stacks, don't panic and run away just because your HP is low. Sometimes, staying in the fight long enough to trigger that 5th stack can completely turn the fight around. You deal more damage, you heal yourself, and suddenly the enemy who thought they had the advantage is the one in trouble. But there's another side to this. If you're low on HP and you're nowhere close to triggering your passive, don't force the fight. If you can't realistically get that 5th stack, you're basically giving the enemy free damage. So remember this, close to 5 stacks, look for a way to finish the passive. Far from 5 stacks and losing HP, disengage. Understanding this difference is one of the first steps to making better decisions with Yu Zhong. Now let's talk about Yu Zhong's first skill, Dragon Tail. This is one of your main sources of damage, so you generally want to prioritize leveling it up. When you cast it, Yu Zhong swings his cloak around him, creating 2 different damage zones. The inner area deals normal damage and applies 1 stack of Sha residue, but the outer edge is where the real damage comes from. If you hit the enemy with the outer edge, you deal significantly more damage and apply 2 stacks of Sha residue instead. So whenever possible, you want to position yourself so that the enemy gets hit by the outer edge. This is really important because you're not just dealing more damage, you're also stacking your passive much faster. So don't just press the skill and hope it hits. Position yourself for the edge. Alright, let's quickly go through the remaining skills, and then we'll get into the gameplay. Now, the second skill. Yu Zhong throws a projectile that slows the enemy and empowers his next basic attack, based on how many targets he hits. That enhanced basic attack can apply 2 Sha residue stacks. But there's also a small trick with this skill that lets you trigger your passive with just 1 enhanced basic attack. I'll show you exactly how to do that in the gameplay. Now, the third skill, Furious Dive. This is your main engage and crowd control tool. You leap to a location, get an extra dash, and after a short delay, knock up enemies in the area. You can use it to either engage or escape. But there's one important trick. Combine Furious Dive with Petrify to make sure the delayed knockup actually connects, especially against mobile heroes. And that's all you need to know about the basic skills. But before we get into the gameplay, let's quickly talk about Yu Zhong's ultimate. His ultimate transforms him into a dragon, allowing him to fly across the map and pass through walls. And once he lands and enters his enhanced form, all of his skills become stronger and cover a much larger area. That's basically all you need to know about the ultimate for now. Now, let's get into the gameplay, and more importantly, how and when to make the right decisions with Yu Zhong. But before that, I want to clarify one important thing about his Black Dragon form. When you're in Black Dragon form, your main target should usually be the enemy backline, especially their mage and marksman. By diving into their backline, you force them to reposition while giving your team enough time to deal with the enemy frontline. And the good news is, Yu Zhong has strong control resistance in Dragon form, so heroes like Franco and Kaja have a much harder time stopping your dive. This gives you a great opportunity to reach heroes like Hanabi or Aurora and take them out. But there's one big warning. If the enemy frontline is strong and knows how to deal with your dive, blindly jumping into the backline can get you killed. So don't just dive because you can. Make sure your team can follow up. Otherwise, you might end up like me.
And one more thing, don't get overconfident. Even if Yu Zhong is strong, continuously forcing fights and dying will only feed the enemy and make it much harder for you to come back into the game. So the most important thing is to stay calm, stay positioned, and wait for the right moment. You don't have to make a play every time. Whenever you get the chance to cut the minion wave safely, take it. Cutting the wave gives you extra time to rotate, so use that window to help your jungler secure objectives or make a play in mid. And if you manage to pick up the minions from both lanes, you'll gain a huge advantage in gold and experience over the enemy EXP laner. But remember, don't cut blindly. Always check the minimap first. If you don't know where the enemy is, that extra wave isn't worth giving them a free kill. And that's it for this guide. I know I didn't include a full gameplay match, but that would make the video much longer. And honestly, watching someone play while explaining every technical detail can get boring. Yu Zhong isn't an assassin. You don't need insanely fast hands to play him. You need a fast brain, especially when you have to make decisions in crucial moments. You're the front line for your team, but that doesn't mean you always have to dive in. Sometimes your job is to protect your backline and create space for your damage dealers, so play as much as you can. The more situations you experience, the better you'll become at recognizing them and knowing what to do. Because fighters aren't just about mechanics or fast hands, they're about decisions. And remember, when someone gives you advice, it doesn't necessarily mean they're smarter than you. It means they've probably made more mistakes than you and learned from them. I'll be uploading gameplay content regularly, so make sure you subscribe. See you in the next one. Take care, and remember, fast brain, strong decisions.